So the other morning, I woke up to find a message through my Jussie Gender Facebook site. And it said, "Everybody would be okay if you killed yourself." This kind of message is nothing new. I get them all the time. It's not like I'm anybody of extreme note, but I am lucky enough to be doing videos for The Advocate and Pride.com about transgender issues. And sadly, anytime anyone talks about transgender issues, especially when trying to display the difference between sex and gender, people for some reason get really upset and start to question one's intelligence and sanity. Oh yeah, my sanity. I'm not making this video to whine or complain or cry about getting these messages. What I am trying to do is to create a video starting a discussion and conversation about something that we've largely accepted as just part of our internet culture. It doesn't have to be, and we need to talk about it. Just this week, I got messages like this. "If you want men to talk less, maybe turn off the camera and stop talking. Bet your dad's proud of you, cut your fucking balls off and grew tits. Stop trying, your penis is showing." Come on, that's not even clever. At least if you're going to try and be hateful, be a little bit clever about it. And those are just messages sent to me directly. Check out any of my videos on theadvocate.com and you'll see comments that question my sanity, my gender, whether or not I have a penis, insulting my parents, anything. I even get it when I'm out and about in the world. A woman the other day at the grocery store told me that I was going to die from HIV and that I like it up the butt. When I was at the mall, a man started following me around yelling, "It's a man! It's a man!" It was extremely terrifying and humiliating. Any transgender person or LGBT person, or really just anyone talking about issues like this on the internet, gets insulted and hateful and mean comments just attacking them. It's an issue that surrounds everyone on the internet. Make any joke about YouTube and you'll see like, "Oh yeah, don't look at the comment sections, it's full of hate anyways." But one thing that these comments all have in common is that they are trying to attack personally and shame someone for saying what they want to say. To shame or insult me about something that I feel passionate about and is extremely important to me and my daily life. And that's what I have a problem with. First of all, I want to be clear. I don't care if people disagree with me. In fact, I encourage it. I passionately believe in the difference between gender identity and sex, and gender theory in general. It makes total and perfect sense to me. But these ideas about gender identity and the difference between gender and sex are worthy of discussion and debate. I am by no means the end-all be-all of anything. I'm not going to get everything right, and I don't want to. I'm going to screw up and have screwed up many times and unintentionally offended people. And I welcome people criticizing me and calling me out. How else am I going to learn? Whenever someone messages me or comments me out of respect and with an actual desire to give constructive criticism or comments, I listen, at least as best I can with the emotional energy and time that I have. I may end up disagreeing with you, but at the very least, you cause me to think, learn, and grow, and I appreciate that. I want to create conversation and intellectual discussion, and that's what the internet should be for, creating conversations between people that would never have a chance to talk to each other in real life. And that's why I have a problem with a lot of people that comment hateful messages on the internet. Look, we all know internet trolls exist. They're just trying to get an emotional rise out of you because they find it amusing. But there are people out there that get vehemently angry when I discuss the simple idea of there being more than two genders. Okay, well maybe not simple, but it's just an idea. But instead of trying to discuss or argue the point, they attack me personally and try to shame me for what I believe in, or for who I am. They're trying to shut people up. The idea is to get people to feel so badly about their identity or their points of view that they don't want to voice them anymore. Which, by the way, isn't going to happen for me. In fact, it does the exact opposite. Every time I get one of these messages, it just encourages me to talk out louder. Because as is the case with any topic, hurling insults at somebody just causes the other person to double down on their beliefs. We see it a lot today in our binary culture. Republicans yelling at Democrats, Democrats yelling at Republicans, and getting more and more instilled in their beliefs. When we call people transphobic or homophobic, there are many, many, many people that deserve that label. But some people that we hurl it at don't actually deserve it. When you call somebody homophobic for even the smallest transgression against the LGBT community, it causes them to recoil away from the community and not want to help at all. And if you keep calling them that, they start doubling down on it and being like, all right, maybe I am homophobic, maybe I do hate gays, they're the ones attacking me all the time. Every side does this. I don't mean to put it all on LGBT people, and I don't mean to put it on people who attack LGBT people. Everyone does it. While there certainly is a moral right or wrong, I'm mostly just talking about the idea of hurling arguments at people to create conversation, or the lack thereof. Insulting people just causes rifts to increase, not decrease. I do want to briefly mention that I do believe that there is a time and a place for confrontational politics. politics, especially for vulnerable communities like trans women of color. These people don't have the same platforms and access that people of my skin color as a white person do have, so many times they have to rely on confrontational politics to get their point of view across because no one is willing to listen to them. I don't want to delve into confrontational politics too much because honestly, it's not something I know too much about and it's not my place to speak on it anyways. But I just want to be clear, I do see the value and necessity of it. So why do these angry messages exist? I am by no means a definitive authority, but I can give you some of my ideas. One of the reasons this hate speech or angry messages exist is because of a lack of responsibility that the internet engenders. On the internet, you can say or do anything and have much less of a chance of being held accountable for it than you would in real life. Not to say that being held accountable never happens, but I mean, look at our president and his Twitter feed. He's almost never held accountable for anything that he says on there, at least in any sort of lasting, reasonable way. Additionally, the internet allows you to separate not only yourself from responsibility, but also separate yourself from the humanity of the person that you're sending the messages to. When someone sends me a hateful message, I honestly doubt whether they actually emotionally understand that they are sending that message to an actual living, breathing human being. I wake up, I use the bathroom, and I go to bed at night. I'm not just a person that lives on your computer screen, even though that may be the only way that you would ever see me. Intellectually, I'm sure they totally get that, but emotionally I find that highly unlikely. Another reason is there are just plain hateful people out there. We've seen it. There's a rise in fascist ideas in this country, and people just send hateful messages because they want to hurt our community. At the end of the day, though, I do wonder where this hate speech even generates from. On an intellectual level, I get it. As trans and queer people, we are generally seen as other. We challenge people's worldviews by our mere existence, and that can be frightening. But in my heart, I really just can't understand it. And I don't think there's any way to. Why is some dude in the middle of the country sending me some angry messages about my beliefs? Why do you even care? Why are you so angry? What difference does it make if I believe in 2 genders or 5 billion? How does that affect your day-to-day life? No one is trying to recruit you to change your gender identity or your sexual identity. At least I'm not. All we're asking is for you to give us the respect to live our lives, and to give others, especially the younger generation, a chance to figure out their gender identity and sexual identity for themselves. We're not asking that everyone in the younger generation be this gender fluid person, though that would be awesome in my opinion. We're just asking that you let them have the chance to figure it out. It doesn't affect you. All we want is to live our lives and have you join it if you want to join it in a kind and positive way. And if you don't want to, then just leave us alone. Honestly, when you send hateful speech, it says more about you than it does about me. It says something about the hate or anger or problems that you're facing in your life. And I get that, but it doesn't have to be my responsibility. And it doesn't mean that you have the permission to lash out at me. I really despise being your outlet for hate and anger. I want me to be emotionally healthy, and that doesn't help. And honestly, I want you to be healthy. See a therapist, go exercise, find a good outlet for the pain or anger that you may be feeling. Because at the end of the day, while you may not recognize my humanity, I recognize yours. I know that every message that I receive, angry or not, is from a real human being. Let's work together to try and make humanity a better place, not a worse one. Why wouldn't you want that? I want you, no, I charge you to be a better human being. Before I wrap up, I do want to address the direct comment that I got where someone said, everybody would be okay if you just killed yourself. Now, that doesn't bother or affect me personally. No one is ever going to make me feel bad or bothered for my transness. It's just not gonna happen. I'm proud of it, and you will never, ever make me feel bad about it. You'd have better luck insulting my hair or questioning my love of Star Trek. Actually, please don't do that one. That one actually would hurt. But while I'm not personally bothered by that message, it does anger the hell out of me. Because a message like that is exactly the kind of thing that someone who is dealing with depression and suicidal thoughts, like I once was, wants to hear. Sending a message like that is insidious, cruel, and just plain evil. And I will not stand for it. And that's all I'll say about that for now. At the end of the day, all I want is for us to love and respect each other. You don't have to agree with me. Hell, you don't even have to like me. I just ask that you let me live my life, and that if you do disagree with me and want to talk about it, reach out in a respectful, kind way that engenders intelligent discourse. Create constructive conversations, and be a better human being. Because at the end of the day, isn't that what we're all trying to do?